Angel Ribo with Expansion Network, accelerating the consciousness of humanity. As you know, I'm known here in the US as the CEO, confidant in the business world, and in Latin America as the president and co-founder of the Wisdom for Kids Foundation. We help underprivileged kids in Latin America become entrepreneurs using their local resources. And if this is Saturday, it's 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. This is reality check on the planet, living without fear. And we are here again with Judy Machado, Goddess Temple Cacao. Judy, how are you? Good morning.
Oh my goodness. Good morning. I'm doing fantastic. I'm grateful to be here once again on Saturday, having spent a beautiful week. Lots of creativity, lots of expression. And here we are now starting the weekend together. Thank you, Angel, for everything you do. And thank you for everyone who's on board. We're really here to just share thoughts, insights, and start talking about releasing all that fear and starting to really live into this beautiful expression of love.
Exactly. Living into that wonderful expression of love. That's really who we are. And as you know, Judy is, for the time being, she's in Toronto, Ontario, in Canada, right? And as I said before, I'm in Dallas, Texas. And we have been, I don't know already for how many programs, shows, we have been bringing people in from many different countries. We've been talking about what's going on in the world. And we've been talking also about countries in which we were not there while we were, doing the program or the show, but, Judy had been there before. She started a journey last, in the beginning of this year. January, to go to countries that were like almost fully open, if not totally open, and with no traveling restrictions. And, there's always an option. There's always the option that if you look, if you really want it, you're going to find it. If you really want it, you're going to find it. So every single week, amazing things happen to the life of Judy, because she's exactly where she is. And last week we had this amazing lady that makes others happy through eating and through empanadas, right? So, so tell me, how are you today, and how is everything going up in Canada?
Oh my God. So everything in Canada is, they're talking about opening up to stage 2, but it's all dependent on how many people have been vaccinated, all that, stuff. So it's interesting. There's been a lot more conversation this week, it seems, about the unvaccinated. They've sort of been left behind in terms of just focus on the vaccine. Now they're like, starting to talk about, these theories around how, unsafe potentially the unvaccinated are for others. But you know what? It's part of this journey that's happening. This whole big program, really, that's being created to help awaken people into their own truth, into their reality, and into us finally coming together and creating this beautiful new earth that we know has been talked about, has been part of, the predictions, part of what we're creating right now. And a lot of people need to be afraid, and need to be in this crazy big program in order to shake themselves to realize, wait a minute, do I really want this? Do I really want the life I'm living? Oh my God, I have been part of a program. I am doing everything according to this program when I really don't want to do that. I want to do this. Let me actually start to work with these people over here who are all creating this whole new earth. And so that shift, we know that part of what's happening is also for that reason. And we've seen so many people in our lives. I'm sure you can think of people in your lives who, at the beginning of this were so, yes, oh my God, this is crazy. And to the point where, wow, there is some incoherence, like some incoherence here that's happening that doesn't make sense. Why is this all happening from that standpoint? And when we look at the bigger picture, when we blast ourselves out into the galaxy, that's when we can look down and go, oh, right. Humans don't really make big changes until something shitty happens. And so maybe this is that big, shitty, crazy thing that's happening that's going to shake us all into, wait a minute. I think it's time that we start creating our own reality. What is that going to look like? And we can do that at a grassroots level. We're seeing that happening at a grassroots level. Start small. Look at our empanada friend last week, right? It's supporting people like that. This woman is this beautiful on a spiritual journey. She has this Reiki business. She's helping so many people to open their eyes, to open their hearts. Why wouldn't we want to buy the most amazing empanadas from her and help her support her lifestyle? So that's happening all over. All we have to do is just be open to that.
Exactly. And actually you touched upon something really important, which is being intentional about everything that we do.
Yes.
And I was, it's funny how just a few minutes ago I was talking to, I'm part of a Power of Eight group, and we meditate, we intend for something every single morning. We've been doing that for 3 years and a half. So every single morning at 8 Central, 6 Pacific, we meet online to actually intend for someone, and we intend daily. And every week is a different intention.
Wow.
The reason why I'm mentioning this is because this week one, we were mentioning about, or we're talking about one, a specific, one specific member of the team that she was telling us about, that she's been cleansing lately. And one of the, of the leaders of that specific practice recommended that as one of the practices for one day was actually to go to a public place and to literally clean a toilet.
Wow.
And that actually reminded me of other, practices that consider that being one of the most humbling experiences, right? And obviously, I mean, I know how we have been brought up and raised about, thinking, just saying this, right? People might have their own reactions, right? But obviously, this lady, taking all the precautions, she did it. She went to actually a very famous coffee shop, and she cleaned literally the place. The restroom. And I have personally done that also a few times, and it's a really humbling experience. But the thing is, are you being intentional, right? Are you being intentional about what you do in your life? And you mentioned the case of Paula last week. So she's a energy practitioner. And at the same time, exactly, what if every single thing that you do, you put the intention on what you do? And it's been shown, as you know, I mean, we are what, 70-80% water. There's this famous Dr. Emoto, EMOTO, in Japan, that showed, and he has books written about it, that you can actually change the molecular structure of the water just by being intentional about it. And you can see that on a microscope. Again, there's books. Again, the name of the doctor is Emoto, EMOTO. I was blessed with interviewing the president of the foundation. Is a lady that travels all over the world, basically explaining what Dr. Emoto did. She lives in Japan, but she travels all over the place. And Dr. Emoto died a few years ago. But again, it's a matter of, it's clear that by being intentional, you can totally change what you're doing and the effects and the impact on other people of what you're doing. This is just, it's by all right, but we underestimate that, right, Judy? We continually underestimate that. But just by being intentional, we can change everything. And if we just put our mind, we just put our mind on, thank you for allowing me to do this. In this case, serving humanity, and in this case was allowing me to clean this. It's one of the most humbling, and as I said, many practices out there consider these kind of humbling experiences as something that can really change your life.
I love that, because the past sort of year and a half, the word humble and the awareness around being humble and how can I be more humble has been a big part of my life, especially through cacao, through the understanding of the levels of consciousness and how there's so many levels above me, that I am humbled when I have a belief that I think, oh my God, here's my belief, but oh my God, I know there's other perspectives around this. I'm so humbled that I have this belief, but I am aware and open to other beliefs. And I just love that, because, sometimes we can be so opinionated, especially right now. The world there's so much duality, and there will always be duality. That's why duality is there to help us to evolve. And the issue, though, is when we're so on one side, so on the one side that other side is wrong, when it just is. It's just different perspectives. And so humbling ourselves, instead of being like, well, we need to do this and you need to do this, and kind of like telling people what to do, or even telling ourselves, making ourselves wrong. Oh, I'm such a failure. I said I was going to do this today. I didn't do that. I was going to exercise. I was going to do whatever. It's humbling ourselves. It's humbling ourselves. Such a beautiful change in the way we start to live our life and the way we start to see and change our reality. But you mentioned something I love. Oh my God, you mentioned about 3 different things. I wish we had an hour to talk about the 3 different things, but let's talk about one of them, because this show is all about fear and understanding that fear is real in terms of in your reality, but at the same time, believe it or not, it is something that we create for ourselves. And so we talk about different ways to face the fear, overcome the fear, transcend the fear, live more in a place of neutrality or love. And you talked about this beautiful practice that you have every single morning with this group. So what a beautiful, simple thing that anyone can do, anyone listening, especially so many people are kind of in this stuck energy right now, feeling depressed. Every day's Groundhog Day, same whole thing every day. And you've got this beautiful group. I'm assuming this group is like like-minded, beautiful, this beautiful consciousness coming together, setting this love and intention together. And we know that when that love and intention comes in a group as well, just like the Bible says, 2 or more people, when 2 or more people are there, how much more it expresses. And so that's really interesting. When did that start? And what do you do on those calls? Because maybe someone in the group would love to do this with one person.
Absolutely. So it was like 5 years ago, we met at a Dr. Joe Dispenza's event in Austin. And just before going to the event, I had looked one of the interviews of Dr. Joe Dispenza with a lady called Lynn McTaggart. She's in the UK. She's from the UK. And she has those books called The Intention Experiment and The Power of 8. She has those. So what Lynn does, the practice of Lynn, they're both, Dr. Joe and Lynn are friends. So what the practice of Lynn McTaggart is to organize intentional events in the world to lower violence. And she has conducted many exercises, live events, live meditations, intention experiments, in which literally thousands of people, she's organized thousands of people around the world, focusing on a particular place in order to lower the rates of violence. Wow. And she's done that in different places in the world, all successfully. She only does this in places where she can measure results, so she can measure success or failure, right? Yes. And so I went to that event, and we were one night, like all sharing the same table. You know how these massive events, you end up having dinner with someone that you don't know. So we're on a table, six of us, and I think I suggested, hey, I know the Dr. Joe. I know we are here at the Dr. Joe event, but why don't we start this practice that his friend, Lynn McTaggart has, which is intention experiments. And she actually has a practice called, Power of 8, the Power of 8 groups. So she has literally hundreds, if not thousands, of Power of 8 groups all over the world. Wow. And everyone is organized in a different way. Us, we decided to meet every single day. The intention itself is only for 10 minutes. Yes. But as you said, we come from different avenues. We have different beliefs, but we all have this common, spiritual foundation and beliefs that allows us to, every single time we meet, we intend for that particular thing. And then every Saturday, we actually have a draw. And every Saturday, we decide with the draw, we decide who's going to be the intender for the following week. Wow. So actually, just today before our show, we just had a draw, and someone, one of the members of the team, is going to have a new intention for these new 7 days, starting tomorrow. And so that we are actually 9. We are more than, but it's I think it's a minimum of 6 and a maximum of 12 or something like this. But in order to be effective, at least you have to have 6. We are 9 right now. Yes. And we have had incredible experiences. Okay, so incredible experiences, up to the point that actually we are really almost finished with the book, all together, all 9. We have written a book. It's called 10-Minute Miracles. Wow. Okay? Exactly, 10-Minute Miracles, and everyone explains their bio, but also explains how their spiritual journey has been since we all started to intend together every single day. And again, we've been 3.5 years already. I think that it's going to be 4 years soon. So yeah, I mean, it's every day, and it's not easy. I mean,
Yes.
and again, there's two of us who are in California. I'm in Texas, but two of us are in California, which is 6 a.m. And then there's two in Mexico, and the rest are spread like in Texas or in West Virginia, I think it is. Yes. So, but anyway, but the thing is,
Wow.
you realize how being intentional changes everything.
Yes.
And this lady I was telling you about, that she cleaned the toilet of a public coffee shop. She was supposed to do it intentionally, not just go there and I'm afraid they put gloves. Obviously, she had put gloves and everything on her, right? But still was the fact that she was being intentional about cleaning and being thankful because she was able to clean what she was cleaning,
Yes.
and again, it's all about putting your intention behind what you do every single day, because we tend to go like automats, like robots through the day, and we don't really think. I have a teacher that I follow, and I have read many of his books. His name is Frederick Dodson, and he explains how just the stopping, like literally, for instance, let's say you're going down the stairs. I mean, you like to use the stairs to go down to the street, right?
Yes.
Why one day you do something weird, like you stop for a minute in a particular stair? It doesn't matter. You just stop for a minute there, and that's just gonna break a very automated process, which is going down X number of floors as you do every single day.
Right.
So we can do that continuously. We can continuously stop for 30 seconds, 1 minute, and look around. And, some people that are more advanced than us, let's say some people that see things. And as you know, there's people that have the ability to, maybe they're clairvoyants or they see other things, right? Because we've interviewed a lot of people, right? And we've met a lot of people. And I remember doing a near-death experience show, and we interviewed, I think it was 15 different people that had near-death experiences. These people see things that we don't see. Yes. And if you ask them at our dimension, right? We're all at the same dimension, and we see objects and we see our physical reality. But when you talk to them and you ask them, hey, if you could give me a piece of advice on how to see the things that you see, but I don't see, what would you suggest that I do?
Wow.
And they always, they don't always tell you the same thing, but they have something in common, which is you're not looking at the places where I look. Your life is too much on automatic.
Yes.
It's too many things that we do, and we don't even think about them. We just do them. Right? We just do those things and we don't think about them. So just stopping, just breaking the habit, as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, breaking the habit of being yourself continuously over the day, during the day. Yes. It's amazing how things start to change.
Wow.
How you become sensitive about things that you never became sensitive about. So there's so many things. I mean, it's like the magic of awareness and attention. I think Frederick Dodson has a book called The Magic of Attention and Awareness. I think it's called like this. Don't quote me for this, but it's how powerful our attention is, and our intention, obviously, putting our attention intentionally on something or somewhere. And we don't realize, because we go so fast. So fast.
Everything is so fast, and that's our society. We're almost programmed to be fast, right? Everything fast. So we don't have time to think, to be. Right? To be. And you're right. The moment I used to be one of these people too, who used to just walk fast and work. Everything was fast. I had to be doing a million things at once, all throughout my careers, had great success. But in terms of a spiritual evolution, it just wasn't there. It was all the programming, right? It was all the constant repeat. And the moment I started to slow things down, and I remember Dr. Wayne Dyer, Eckhart Tolle, all these beautiful teachers talking about slow down, just be present. Just be present. We're always like, oh, what's going to happen tomorrow? What am I going to plan for this? Here's my goal for that. Everything's about tomorrow or the next day, when everything, as we know, happens right now in every now moment. And so it's in the, if we can slow down the now moment, including right now, like just take a minute to just be. Like, we don't even have to speak for a whole minute. Like, we just imagine what happens when you stop speaking for an entire minute, even on such a thing as this Zoom. All these awarenesses come to place for us. What's happening in front of us, all the words that are being said between the words, the unsaid words, right? There's more that you can hear between our words than there are within our words. And especially when you have your heart open and when you're ready. And it's so beautiful. What a transition and what a process, and how exciting it is that humanity's in a place where we're all, there's many of us, we're all at different places, different stages, different awarenesses, but what's happening in the global, world, this big global change, and I never like to call it by what they call it, the P word or the C word. I like to just call it the global change, because otherwise we create that consciousness. We continue to create that consciousness. So in other words, it's just a change. And it's a change that's allowing for us to create an opportunity and a possibility to slow down our life, to take off all these masks that we've been wearing, to remove this programming, which is pretty much 99% of everything we say, do, and believe and think isn't even ours. It's just been told to us. And like, we're looking, observing, oh, I'm going to believe that too. When it's like, when we can stop and feel into every single thing that we quote unquote believe, watch how amazing it's going to be, how we're going to unbelieve it and step into our truth, which is really just, well, how do we feel? How do we feel? And going back to why we're here to express love. We are love, and we are here to express love to each other. And and starting to drop all these beautiful, starting to drop all these programs that have come to us, but that's okay. Instead of thinking, oh, they're so bad, why did this happen? Of course, it's happened there. It's there so that we can experience the shift from, oh my God, I used to be this. And now, oh my God, how can we truly enjoy and love and be grateful for that when we don't know what it wasn't before? And so coming to terms with the problems, the issues, the changes, the quote unquote evil that's happening over there outside of us, knowing that it's there to help to shift people back into love, into this beautiful expression. So beautiful. Oh my God. And
Absolutely.
I had this amazing realization. I know we only have a few minutes left, and I want to share the cacao as well.
Please, absolutely.
I've had this amazing, of course, every week I have mind-blowing insights, and I swear it's all coming from this incredible awareness with this plant medicine, this cacao plant medicine. These medicines are here to open up our hearts and take us beyond our current level of consciousness, so we can start getting these insights that are so understood at a cellular level. And this one for me was this. It was understood at an incredible level, like beyond what I've ever understood. And that is that when we say something, when you hear of, let's say, a conspiracy theory, let's say, or something that seems outrageous, like, are there really aliens? There are people in this world that believe absolutely not, there's no aliens. There are people that believe absolutely, yes, there are aliens. So when something is said, expressed out of our mouth into this world, it's actually already existing somewhere in a reality. For us to express it and say it, it's already existing in a reality. So how's that for when, again, the only way to raise our consciousness we know is by changing our beliefs. So we have this nope, I believe that, that this is the only way that I can lose weight. This is the only way, it's this keto thing or whatever our belief is, right? And so this is our belief. We are not open to anything around us. So we could still have that belief. Oh, in this moment, keto is helping me to lose weight. I'm just using this as an example. But I'm also open. Imagine with every belief that we have, just saying, and I'm also open to seeing other perspectives, because I know that there are so many other levels of consciousness ahead of me, that there are so many other perspectives I can't even fathom. I can't even understand in my capacity, but I'm open to seeing them as I start to become more enlightened, as I start to become more awake, as I start to become more open. And then that humbling, again, brings back the humbling. And also brings back the fact that, because I was telling a friend about this other person who was saying that he was abducted when he was a child. And this other person was like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. And I sat back and I thought, yeah, for that person, it's ridiculous. So therefore that person will never be open to believing that perhaps there are other beings, beautiful beings here already, looking like us in these meat suits like we are. Perhaps we're even one of those beings, right? Like, what's the harm in believing something so beautiful like that when we're so closed and, this is what it is? So that was a big insight for me. And I wonder if it might be for anyone listening, is this idea that when somebody says something that seems ludicrous, what if we don't have to believe in it, but what if we could just say, wow, is it possible that that actually exists somewhere in this universe, that there's another reality or perspective happening? Because that is raising our consciousness, because it's all happening and we're all realizing, wow, all of it is happening. So being, again, not saying anyone has to change their current beliefs. You have to have beliefs. In each level of consciousness, we have our beliefs, which create this level of reality for us. But the moment we're open, we can just say, this is my belief in this moment, but I'm open. I'm open maybe one day to changing that perspective if I receive information, if and when I receive information from the higher consciousness, from this higher awareness, from this higher place of understanding. That's when I'm open, potentially, to changing this belief. Now you're literally on this magic carpet ride.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah,
very, very profound, but it's so true. Exactly. So true.
So true.
We see the world in the terms of what we believe in. So exactly. Yeah. So let's go for the cacao, because I don't know if you've seen me, but I've been drinking cacao tea throughout the show. I always carry it with me. So thank you.
And cacao tea, such a beautiful way to drink cacao too. Cacao is a master plant medicine. For any of you who are new here, it's a master plant medicine. What does that mean? It's plants that are here to take us beyond our level of consciousness when we drink or eat them. And there are many different types of master plant medicines. Cacao, the main ingredient to make chocolate, believe it or not, is a master plant medicine. And just like you said, Angel, when we bring intention to this drinking, because you can just drink it and put it, so many people eat cacao, drink cacao, cacao's, sprinkled all over their tiramisu or whatever. But when you can drink it with intention and realize this beautiful teacher of higher consciousness that you're taking into your body, that you're allowing and inviting into your perspective and awareness, that is when you start to see beyond your veil of illusions. And that's when we start to become more aware of why everything's happening in the world. And when we see that perspective, we can have less suffering, right? Less stories, less suffering, because we see how we're all evolving, why it all makes sense. And so as we drink this beautiful cacao, we always take a moment to just set that intention, any intention that you might have. Right now, we'll set the intention for the cacao to just take us on a little magic carpet ride today as we drink this. Take us into some really beautiful insights, some deep, profound spiritual truths and insights, that we may truly understand these insights from a cellular level, that it may be understood, acknowledged, and that we may be open to including that in our awareness ongoing, so that we can change our reality and change everyone around us as well. And so let us all drink right now. We'll take a couple minutes in silence. I'll put the music a little bit louder, and just be, even if you have water, even if you don't have anything with you, just feel into your heart right now as this beautiful plant medicine takes us all onto a little journey. Here we go. Namaste. Satnam.
Thank you very much, Judy, for another amazing show. So thank you very much for being with us today again. If people want to reach out to you, what's the best way to do it, Judy?
Anywhere on social media, Goddess Temple Cacao, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, or website, goddesstemplecacao.ca.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having you. Again, this was the Reality Check on the Planet, Living Without Fear, another incredible show with Judy Machado here and Angel Ribo from Texas with Expansion Network. Thank you for being with us today. I'm sure that you have enjoyed this brief conversation with us another Saturday. Have a wonderful weekend, and you will see us again next week on another show. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Angel.
Thank you.
Thank you.